Hi, welcome to the very first Existentialism video. This is the beginning of a series of many videos that will be on this channel, just like I already have 5 videos of the Existentialism, or the Phenomenology videos, and that's going to continue from Brentano, because I just discussed Brentano, and I'm going to discuss Husserl in many aspects, as well as Heidegger and many others in phenomenology. But I'm starting this earlier than I anticipated, because there's, like I said before, there was a suggestion in the moderator module below that I should talk about existentialism and asking for my thoughts, and along with other things like that. So I got a couple things. First, I want to show you that I got this book. It's a book called Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre. It's pronounced, I've heard it pronounced Jean-Paul Sartre, and I've heard it pronounced Jean-Paul Sartre. So it's however you want to pronounce it, whatever. But this book is a lot of... There's 4 huge books that I consider to be big for Jean-Paul Sartre's existentialism. That's this Nausea book, Being Nothingness, I have that book too, as well as Existentialism as a Humanism, as well as the Critique of Dialectical Reason. But I'm not going to go into him that much yet. I'm going to go into existentialism one by one. So I got plato.stanford.edu in a search of existentialism up on the computer, as well as I have this book here. It's called Existentialism, from Dostoevsky to Sartre, by Walter Kaufman. This is a good anthology for existentialism, definitely great one. And he has a little preface to, or a little, not a preface, but a sort of introduction. Well, he calls it this is sort of the introduction to. This is an anthology. It has Dostoevsky, Heidegger, and a bunch of other people. So basically, he claims that for the first, existentialism is basically a cultural literature movement that is not really a school of philosophy, but it's a revolt against traditional philosophy. So it's basically they're revolting against other kinds of normal philosophy we might see, and basically, existentialism, he claims to be, gosh, I lost it. And, it's, I'm getting a phone call, but it's a fucking telemarketer. I hate them. I put my phone in the do not call list. So basically, in here he goes through discussions of, I hung up on them. Piss me off. So this is one thing he claims for existentialism to have is, dislike for other schools of philosophy. And he begins the discussion by Dostoevsky and along other things like that. But one thing to keep in mind is that this is nothing is said in there. This is a philosophy that is revolting against other kinds of traditional philosophy, and this is a philosophy where the philosophers of existentialism try to be individuals and don't claim to be a part of any movement. And it's like a big rebellion almost. I mean, the way Kaufman describes it, it's kind of a rebellion. But to go further, this is plato.stanford.edu, and one huge understanding of existentialism is, on the existentialist view, to understand what a human being is, it is not enough to know all the truths that natural science, including the science of psychology, could tell us. The dualist who holds human beings are composed of independent substances, mind and body, and is no better off to grab this from the physicalist, who holds that human existence can be adequately explained in terms of the fundamental physical constituents of the universe. Here's another thing. Take off the zoom, please. Here's another thing that existentialism is big with, is they're claiming that the whole cultural movement, or the movement of philosophy, claims that science and traditional philosophy cannot explain with science or whatever else. It cannot really explain what human existence is. I mean, they claim to have a lot of states of existences, and they claim that, like, if you read Jean-Paul Sartre's Being and Nothingness, you'll realize that this is a big movement about human existence. And that's one huge part of it, is human existence. And here's another good definition of it. Existentialism, therefore, may be defined as a philosophical theory which holds that a further set of categories governed by the norm of authenticity is necessary to grasp human existence. And so we have in existentialism, the whole goal is to grasp human existence, because science and traditional philosophy normally cannot. So that is a general outline of existentialism. There's a lot of other ways of defining it, but I thought I would begin this, and I will go into Dostoevsky in the next video, or possibly another segment of defining the whole movement of existentialism. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but I'm going to read this book, and then I will review it in a Hat in a Tree Seed type style. Because this is a novel. This isn't like a philosophical book where you read principles and propositions. This is a novel where the character in the book becomes mind-boggled with their own existence, and documents all their sensations and everything else. So anyway, that was a lot of pausing in the video, so sorry about that. Have a great day.